So, there's a huge battle brewing right now, and it's all about digital privacy. We've got a top SEC commissioner, Hester Peirce, basically drawing a line in the sand.
Crypto mom herself, right? She's always been a pretty strong voice for the industry within the SEC.
Exactly. And she just gave this speech that was pretty fiery. She's essentially arguing that people should have the right to transact privately, just like they could with physical cash, back when the Fourth Amendment was written.
That's a powerful comparison. She's connecting digital assets directly to fundamental constitutional rights.
Totally. And she takes it a step further. She says that developers who write open source privacy software, they shouldn't be held responsible for what other people do with their code.
Okay, so it's like you can't blame the inventor of the hammer if someone uses it to break a window.
Precisely. And her timing on this is, well, it's not a coincidence. This is all happening while the jury is deliberating in the Roman storm trial.
The Tornado Cash guy. Right. So remind us, what's the core issue there?
So, Tornado Cash is a crypto mixing service. It lets users obscure the origin and destination of their crypto to protect their privacy.
But the government alleges that criminal groups used it for money laundering.
Yeah.
And they're holding Storm, one of the co-founders, responsible.
Right. And he could face up to 40 years in prison. The stakes are incredibly high. The defense argument is exactly what Peirce is talking about. Tornado Cash is a tool, and you can't prosecute the tool's creator for how others use it.
It feels like we've seen this movie before, though.
We have, and Peirce brought this up. She made this fantastic parallel to the 1990s.
The original crypto wars?
Yes. Back then, the government wanted to keep strong cryptography out of private hands for national security reasons. They were afraid of what people could do with it.
And people like Phil Zimmermann, the guy who made PGP encryption, pushed back hard.
They pushed back, and they won. And Peirce's point is that because they won, we now have the internet as we know it. We rely on that very same encryption for online banking, for secure emails,
everything,
for e-commerce, everything.
So she's saying stifling this new privacy tech in crypto could hamstring the next wave of innovation, just like it almost did with the internet.
That's the core of it. She says trying to force financial surveillance onto an immutable open source protocol is, and this is her word, fruitless.
Okay, but let me push back on that for a second. I get the privacy argument, I really do. But isn't the government's job to stop money laundering and terrorism financing?
Sure.
Aren't these legitimate concerns?
It's a fair challenge, and it's the heart of the debate. But from Peirce's perspective, the cure is worse than the disease. She argues that creating a system where you have to get permission or be watched for every transaction, that it fundamentally breaks the idea of a free society.
So the cost to our liberties is too high, in her view.
Exactly. And she pointed to another example of this, that so-called DeFi broker rule that was being pushed.
Oh yeah, the one that Trump killed right before it went into effect?
The very same. That rule would have required DeFi protocols to report transaction data and taxpayer info to the IRS. Peirce said that would, and I'm quoting her again, deputize us to surveil our neighbors.
Wow. That is strong language coming from a sitting SEC commissioner.
It is. It shows just how deep this philosophical divide is. She's arguing that peer-to-peer technologies should be left alone, permissionless, available for everyone to use, even if some people use them for bad purposes.
Because the alternative is creating a surveillance state that erodes fundamental rights.
Exactly. It's a battle for the soul of Web3, really. Is it going to be an extension of the old financial surveillance system, or is it going to be something new, something more aligned with the principles of privacy and decentralization?
And the verdict in the Tornado Cash trial could be the first major signpost for which way we're heading.
It absolutely could be. This is not just some niche crypto story. This is about the future of privacy in a digital world.